Hello everybody, I hope you're all very well. Betty here. Welcome to my Feel Good Friday vlog where I talk about cats, plants, snacks and old knickknacks with my daughter Begonia Coconut. I've got a bit of everything for you today. I'm quite excited. So while the sun is shining, very briefly, let's get stuck in. If you've listened to my other videos or if you know anything about me, you know I'm an atheist, which means there are no gods. However, I deeply respect other people's belief in their gods. I deeply respect their respect for their gods. That's the end of story. So when I saw two Buddha heads in very unsuitable circumstances, I felt a little bit moved. I just thought they were in the wrong place and they were in amongst some old junk by the side of the road. It was, for me, an atheist, it was quite harrowing. I don't know if it's because they were just sort of two heads sat there or if they were, very important religious iconic figures to a lot of people. So obviously I bought them and they were £15 each. They weighed an absolute ton, and gone are the days where I could just lift and shift anything. Those are those days are over. And obviously I couldn't split them because they were together. They would obviously been in someone's garden for years, if not decades, together. So I couldn't split them. So I legged it home for my trusty old Nana trolley. Oh, that, my friends, is what a godsend is. If I was to believe in anything, it would be in Nana trolleys. They are divine. So yeah, I bought them, went back to the shop, bought them, and couldn't obviously carry both at the same time. So I had to carry each head home individually. It was a very strange feeling, I tell you, dragging down the road a head on a trolley. But it was definitely a feeling I could get used to. Lovely bit of autumn sun. So here we are in the safety and the sanctuary of the Yarden. Hello. You're up. As you can see, Begonia loves them. She's already spent some time sitting on the stone one's head. I think Buddha approves of that. I think they're a perfect combination, Buddha and cats. So this is where I put them when I brought them back. And they've been there about a week. I feel like I've regained some strength, enough strength to do some work on them and sort them out, because obviously they can't just stay there. That's not right. And this one in particular is solid. Don't think it's stone. I think it's maybe composite concrete. I don't know, but it's solid. And this one is quite interesting. Begonia. She's such a tree hugger. No DNA test required. She's definitely my daughter. Oh, that looks unsteady. Yeah, this one. As you can see, it's painted a gloss of purple, and I absolutely love that. I'm going to leave it. The lady in the shop said, are you going to clean them up? Are you going to tidy them up? What are you going to do about the paint? And I said, I absolutely love the paint, and so does Begonia look. So even though it's flaking and it's a right old state, I'm going to leave it like that. You can see underneath there is what looks like cracked and crazed gloss. Not gloss, what is it? Ceramic, glazed. Yeah. Oh, hang on. There we are. glazed surface to it, and that one's hollow, and I think that's possibly because it should have been kept inside and it's being put outside in the garden to the elements, exposed to all the weather and the elements, that it's cracked like that. I don't know. I don't know if they're antique. They're definitely vintage, but don't know anything else about them. But we love them, don't we? Yeah, we love them. Good girl. Good girl. So before I do anything with them, before I tidy them up and put them somewhere more appropriate, I'm going to show you a bit of the autumn garden. There are some huge, big, fat rumped garden spiders that have just taken over the top of the tree canopy, and I absolutely love them. I sit in the yard and watch it. Hi. I'm not going to tidy the garden up because obviously there's still lots of bees around looking for food, and there's obviously lots of other little tiny tiddly creatures living in there. So they can have it. My gift. Is that? No, can't really get them in focus. I'm not David Attenborough. Yes, I know. It's inside. Yeah. There's a big bumblebee in there. Yeah. Good girl. Honestly, she loves these butterheads and that tree. Oh, subject of trees. My oak tree turning autumnal, but completely free of powdery mildew and very strong. His trunk is getting nice and thick and sturdy, doesn't need any support. So I can't tell you how thrilled I am about that. I wanted to build a little jungle out here for her so she could be a wild panther as opposed to a house panther. And I think we're there. She loves it. Oh yeah, I was sitting in the jungle room the other day with the French doors open, and I heard a sort of a and I realised it was one of my apples. I'm not going to pick them, I'm not going to eat them, firstly because I don't want to break the spider's webs to get to them, and also they're sort of too small and too sweet to eat. I'm going to leave them for the creatures, for the birds, for the insects, for anybody that wants them, really. I can survive without eating them, and I think other creatures will appreciate them more. Yes. Yes. Puppy. Hi. Hi. Oh, the sun is amazing. Right then, so the plan is to clean this one up. That looks like it's been sort of covered in cut grass, you know, from someone cutting their lawn, and that's just what that is. That's nothing more sinister than that. I don't think it ever came out of a body. So I'm going to clean it up, and then I'm going to move this one, I think, inside into the jungle room. I've created a nice little spot for it because I asked my friends on Facebook. I've got friends all over the world from all sorts of denominations and backgrounds and cultures, and I said, does anyone know the best way to respectfully display these two butterheads that I've sort of rescued from terrible circumstances? And they said, It's complicated, of course it is, but probably the best thing to do in this situation is to just to make sure that they're not on the ground, i.e. like this. It's just where I put them because I couldn't lift them, and also that they are facing the action, as in facing into the room or towards the house. So not facing towards a sort of busy thoroughfare like a road, or out of the window. So what I'm going to do is put this one on the Indian cabinet that I've got in the jungle room right in the middle, and I'm going to put some nice candles and decor around it. And this one, I think I might bring it inside. I just don't have the right place for it at the moment. What I might do is put it elevated between the trees next to the oak tree, which is obviously a very sacred tree to me. Oh, there we go. Nice bit of road digging. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I might put it somewhere next to my oak tree, facing towards the kitchen window, so I can look out of the window and see it. And my tree, of course. You like that idea? Is that a good idea? Yeah. All right then. Let's talk more action. First clean up, then I'll do a proper clean inside. Well, I feel better already. I'm sure you do too. Right, you know, in hindsight, you think, how on earth did I lift that? And you can only come to the conclusion, well, in my case, that it's adrenaline. It seems that I can move mountains with adrenaline. But on just a cup of tea and a bit of toast, can't move much. I think this is going to be a longer job than I thought. It's come up nice though. More of the purple's flaking off, but I'm going to leave it until I can't leave it. Isn't it lovely? That's what it's like inside. Oh look, I've just lifted the stand up, the concrete base, and oh, everybody loves it. Look at all that life in there. Beautiful, lovely collection of worms that are just, oh, they just save the planet, don't they? Worms are everything. Without worms, we're nothing. Love worms. Would you like to come and inspect the work? Is it up to your standards? I don't know if that was a yes or a no. Was that a pass or a fail? I think it's a feed me. My stone leopard planters have formed some sort of 1980s new romantic, new wave post-punk hairband. A little bit of post-lunch inspection. I might get a better result this time. Do a pesto, darling. Yeah. Is there any treasure inside Begonia? Maybe just peace. Just inner peace. I think that paint's going to come off. I think when I bring it inside, and there's a change in temperature. I mean, I was sat there while I was watching it thinking, what's going to happen when I put the heating on? And then I thought, who do I think I am to be able to put the heating on? Elizabeth Taylor. But there hopefully will be a slight change. Sorry about the shaking. Hopefully there will be a slight change in temperature from the inside to the outside. Often it's warmer outside, isn't it? I know. What shall we do, Babs? What should we do with the purple? I don't know. I'll just leave it for now. So there we are. It's all clean, scrubbed, and I'm going to leave it to dry while I sit here and have a cup of tea and contemplate life as we know it. Well, absolutely no. What I'm going to do is contemplate life as we dream of it. I've been pushed off my cushion. Literally pushed off my cushion. I'm inside the kitchen now. There she is on my cushion, being evicted. And this is the view from the kitchen of the trees. Eventually this will be a whole canopy up there blocking out all of that. And there, can you see? There. This is all the new growth. It's so fluffy and puffy and green and alive. Oh, it's fabulous. I love it. Absolutely love it. There's the other one. There. Not quite as fluffy and puffy and alive, but very much alive and thriving. I'm so happy with my canopy. Well, it's a canopy for begonia. It's a sort of head height bit of an obstacle course for me, but I reckon in a year or two, it's going to be above my head and it'll be like a jungle dream. Oh, I'm happy about that. You can probably tell. Oh, I love my view. Beautiful. There we go. So while the Buddha head and the little plinth is outside drying in the air, I've cleared a space in the middle of my vintage Indian sideboard where I store my rebounder. It's actually the same colour as the purple Buddha. I put it there in the hope that I'll trip over it so many times I'll put it down and bounce on it, but I just walk around it. I don't know why, because honestly, it's so good. You feel so good after 4 Taylor Swifts, Shake It Off. Just slide it back on YouTube, bounce, 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 shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Slide it back before the end, bounce, 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 shake it off, shake it off. My best friend said you, 4 times, absolutely life-changing. But still, there we are. There it sits. So I'm going to put the head in there. I don't think the plinth that it's got, that little round concrete disc thing, is going to work for me aesthetically. So I might have to do a bit of digging around in the house to find a more suitable, aesthetically pleasing plinth. So I might do that. But while it's drying, that's the hole where it's going to live. In the meantime, I'm going to show you the other little bits and pieces that I picked up in the week. A little bit of fashion, a little bit of jewellery, nothing to completely blow your hair back, but 1 or 2 really quite exciting finds. Very useful and unusual. So I'll show you those now. We've moved again. We're upstairs now in Begonia's Flamingo Boudoir. So what I've got to show you is going to be so useful. I'm thrilled about it. I found it in a charity shop last week, and it's a really old school, sort of little bit shabby animal charity shop. So it's a charity shop where the proceeds go to help animals. And this is a Grace Elliott underskirt for a wedding dress, I believe, but it's just going to be absolutely perfect for all the vintage gowns, everything that I've got that needs sort of fluffing out with a netted underskirt. Sorted. These are like just gold when you like to sort of faff around with clothes in your bedroom like you're dressing up a big human-sized doll. Or if you want to get married, that's not my scene. That's not my bag. Dressing up human-sized dolls, I'm in. Marriage, I'm out. So I'll show you this on the mannequin. I love a bit of a tussle. A bit of a tussle with a bustle. It's nearly on. Hang on. It's putting up a bit of a fight. Hello. How fabulous is that? Very fabulous. I'll just answer for you. Oh my God. I'm not quite sure who won that fight. I've got bruises, but it's on, and it's just going to be so useful for showing lots of gowns and big skirts that need extra sort of volume underneath. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. So I bought it from the animal charity shop, which was not far away. It's quite hard lace, so I mean net, beg your pardon. So it wouldn't be very comfortable unless it had a long, full underlining, and it has. It's got a very thick lining, so it's very comfortable. The heat that would be generated under there would probably power the national grid for a year. So yeah, there we go. How great is that? Brilliant. Thrilled. I think I paid £10, but I can't quite remember. It wasn't cheap, but obviously it's worth its weight in gold for its usefulness. And it's probably actually quite valuable. It's probably worth, if it were to be sold on something like Etsy, about £80. It is vintage, and obviously, you know, you wear it for your wedding day, and then what do you do with it? Sell it on. Brilliant. So that's that. I also got a vintage promotional Malibu scarf. This is probably 80s or 90s. It's obviously the Malibu drink, which I loved, but I don't drink anymore. So I don't really have any substitute for it unless they've made one with zero alcohol. That would be absolutely joyous, but I don't think they have. There you go, that's that. I'll put it on the mannequin and show you what it looks like. You know, it probably would have been worn by one of the promo girls where they go around and sort of give out little Malibu shots. I still can't tie scarves. That looks terrible. You know what we need? We need Babs. Told you, there she is. 1990s Ibiza Malibu club rep. Whoop whoop! How does Barbara, why is Barbara the best actress in the world? How does she do it? She just transforms herself whenever I needed to. Oh, peace, Babs. I'll have a large one. Next, I got some jewellery, which I think I might have made a mistake, but I'm still a little bit interested. I don't know. I'll just show you. It's very strange. I thought that it might have been vintage brutalist. You know, that sort of brutalist textured finish, because it's stamped 925 silver on the back, and the chain is pretty hefty too. So if this is actually a great big lump of silver and it is vintage brutalist, that's a score. I will love it again. But I just wasn't sure at the time, and I'm still not sure, because it's got this weird sort of J or blip on it. I think it might just be a blip. And this is glass, but it could be some sort of semi-precious stone. It's like a dark chocolate colour. You know, like dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. Who needs dark chocolate? Not me. And on the back is what sort of got me, is a stamp MW925. If you can identify that for me, please, I'd be so grateful. MW? It looks like recycled silver, you know, that someone's melted down other stuff and poured into a mould. I've got no idea who MW is. I've had a good look on the internet. I just can't find anything. I have failed. So at the same time I bought that, I'm actually starting to like it now. So fickle. I got this because I had it in my head that they were vintage sterling silver, sort of modernist, brutalist necklaces from someone's collection. You know, I mean, a lady who passed away, and they were, you know, buying their fabulous modernist jewellery in the 60s and the 70s, because this has got very much a 60s, 70s vibe. It's also stamped 925 on the chain. This flower is not stamped, but it looks and feels like silver. I haven't tested it. I've got no idea. But that's also a nice little chunky lump of silver if it is. So that's that. No name, no brand, just 925. Oh no, it has got something on it. A little stamp. I wonder if this is going to focus. Can you move? It says move back to focus. Look, can you see that? Nah, I can barely see it. That doesn't mean much. I can't see anything. It's like a sort of an arrow. It's sort of like an arrow-shaped triangle. My fingers are filthy from the garden. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care. I don't think you care either. So yeah, can you see that? Good luck. 95, that's that. Little silver thing. And then, I don't know what possessed me. I think I was just on some sort of mystery thing, because I thought that might say a name. I thought that might say some sort of brand underneath when I got it under the loop. But it doesn't. It's just a cheap bit of tin. I thought they may be groovy, funky, funkadelic 60s or 70s daisies on a brooch. I thought it might be silver. But now I just think it's not. I don't know. Still quite a nice little squircle daisy brooch. So I paid £1.49 for the brooch, 99 pence for the flower, and £2.49 for the discs. Just while I'm here, I was digging through one of my big crates, and this is not something I got this week. I have shown it to you before, but it was probably in one of the very first videos I ever made. But this is a vintage almond nut necklace, and they're not real almonds. They're like a very hard acrylic plastic, and I love it. Look at them. I just thought I'd show you because they were there, because they're so nice. Aren't they fabulous? Oh, that's all. Nice and autumnally and sort of harvest festivally. There we go. So hopefully the butter is dry now. I'll go and retrieve them from the garden and see what it looks like in its hopefully permanent place of peace and tranquility and rest. Namaste. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye bye.